Hello. Yeah, a lot of people here, so nice to hear. Nice to see all of you. It's my actually first DrupalCon presentation, so yeah, let's hope everything will go fine. Right, like this? No, like this? Yeah. So my name is Roman. I've been doing Drupal for a long time now. Yeah, but again, my first presentation on the DrupalCon level. So yeah, my nickname is like Tarantul on the Drupal org. So if you would like to check my profile, you can do it. And maybe one disclaimer. I guess it was in the description of the session, but I would also highlight it again. Then it's not about like what you do, how you do profiling, and what you expect how profiling works, etc. So you should either know it or yeah. It's not about how to connect it and what you can do with DDEV, because probably everyone is using DDEV thanks to the DDEV team, Randy, and everyone else who is doing this for us. Yeah, so let's go to the next slide. Yeah, maybe the first slide is about tools that are available. What you can do for free, basically, or open source, XHProf, and DDEV has a built-in support of it. Then there is an SPX tool, which is newer implementation. Also, there is already a DDEV plugin for it. I think it's by Dave Long, also a prominent Drupal contributor. And there are a few SaaS services. Basically, most of them are paid. All of them are paid. So actually, if you use them permanently, there is no other way. You need to buy an account and use it. But you can actually use New Relic locally for some time. This session is about that. So, you can have Blackfire. Blackfire also has a built-in dev support, but there is no free trial at all now, so you need to pay from day one. Tidebase is the same. It's like Tidebase, I'm actually not sure, because as far as I understand, Tidebase is a fork of XHProf, and then they might have a free component that you might can work with, but there is also no out-of-box DDEV solution for that. But if you go with the SaaS version, paid version, also no free trial. You need there is a free trial, but then you need to pay. So you cannot use it for a longer time. And New Relic gives basically there is a free plan. So they still state on the website, I checked in the morning, that you can use it, and it's basically permanent free plans. They do not plan to change it. With all that, paid things, you can change, but it is like it is. And it's limited a bit, but it works. Why not to use maybe XHProf? XHProf is very basic, so it's kind of very raw and not give you that a lot of information. And I guess New Relic has really good UI, and you can do much more things about it. It's built in the DDEV, and you just can enable it with DDEV XHProf on. As with Xdebug, it's not good to have it enabled all the time, because it writes a lot of logs, and your application actually is slower, and then you will run out of space soon. Then a few things about the Blackfire. So it's similar. But also you will need to do some extra steps to set it up. Of course, you need to create a Blackfire account. Then there are two different extensions, one for Firefox, one for Chrome. You need to install either of both of them if you want to check in different browsers. In Firefox, it's more functional, because there is an option which is not available in Chrome, to basically profile all the requests, because in Firefox it can profile all the requests, so basically requests to the main page, and also subsequent requests to Ajax loads, to the CSS aggregated files or something like that, if they are not aggregated already. So it's only available in Firefox, and then in Chrome you can only profile the main page. Yeah. Then you need to there are two ways of basically supplying your Blackfire credentials to the DDEV. One, you can use the DDEV config command, so you can do it like globally, so like it will work for every your project you have, or you can like add for different credentials for each project without, so don't just skip the global part of the command. Also, it's possible to just create .env file into the DDEV inside the DDEV directory, and then you need to specify those 4 keys to it to work. And then when you use it, it's basically the same. DDEV Blackfire on, DDEV Blackfire off, and you're good to go. And then we can move to the New Relic thing. So New Relic is not supported by DDEV. There is no like add-on, and it's not built-in. Support is not built-in thing. So actually our work, so when you should use it, so when you have like one-off problem or one project that you just not need to check and maybe profile, and you want to do it with New Relic, for example. If, as I mentioned like before, then like if you do this constantly, you want to have it like run in production, basically you just buy a service and you should use it. But like for one-off problems that you want to do, it's a great way to do it. Our use case was, so we had Drupal Commerce 7 to 10 migration, and performance of Drupal 10 version was like bad, was not good. So we need to find those like bottlenecks, what's wrong with that. That's why like we tried it actually with XHProf, and it was not very good. Like we were not able to do it, but like with New Relic guys then fixed it like in a relatively short time, basically. So actually, this work has not ground up work. Actually, there is an issue in GitHub of DDEV to add support, and I think like it was created by Matt Gleman, also well-known Drupaler, yeah. But like this work never ended as a like solution, and basically we did something to make it work. But there is a catch, or a dessert, in a few slides. So you need, it's the same, you need to register with New Relic. You can go with a free plan. Free plan has only one limitation. It's like, it is limited by 100 gigabytes of data you send to them per month, which just feels like a lot, but I think like it's not that much. If you do like this constantly or for a long time, like you would run out of this limitation pretty soon. So it's not feasible, I think, as far as I understand, to run it production. So like we never intended to run in production with a free account, so only like to use in DDEV to find those problems with the project locally and then fix them, and then basically we don't use the service that much, right? Then what you can do now. So actually this is, if you need to do something, to add something to DDEV customly, for your like one project, two projects, also it will work the same way. So, for example, if you add a new, basically Docker container, you can just create this like Docker compose dot something YAML, and then you specify what the image is, the platform, blah blah blah, ports, how you name it, uproot, etc. And basically, this is like the recipe. You can do this as the same with like different tools. If you need to add something very specific, or you want to play with DDEV as extra services that are not available either as a part of the DDEV package or via the add-ons, then that's the way. So you do this one, then you create a New Relic ini file, then you need to add their extension, specify port. You see the port here and there is the same. Then like license key, app name. So license key is basically license key from the account, app name, so you can, I think, create different apps, and so you see like which one you're profiling. And then like some configurations. There are like actually more configurations, so you can add more alliance here, and basically it's like standard PHP ini configuration thing. Then when you add it to web build directory inside the dev, actually it does some magics. So it downloads the correct like library, so file, blah blah blah, unpacks it, puts it, and configures it. So it's kind of configures the Docker image so it can connect with the PHP process, because like New Relic needs to have access to your PHP process so it can be profiled. Right? And then basically there's like the Docker file that actually will be used, right? So it uses that script that was on the previous slide, and it works. So, right, but things are different now. So I said that like there is dessert, so there is no dessert, and there's no cake. And the thing is that like we created this like probably 9 months ago or something like that. Like this work was done like 9 or maybe like even more months ago. And if you know how the submission for DrupalCon is being done, like you submit it like 6 months prior to the events, and there's like I guess committee reviewing it, right? So this content is like older, and the thing is that like actually everything moves quickly around it. So before like we started this work, and now two main things happened. Actually, New Relic actually created a new way, like simpler way of connecting their like code into PHP process. So you don't don't need this. All this is not needed anymore. Basically now it's basically much more simpler. And other thing is that happened, I guess, the DDEV infrastructure and push for add-ons and examples available make it much easier to create add-on. So that's what we did. So you don't need, you're like, forget first half of the slides. There is an add-on. So it's now, it's still on the TPCAD is like one of our colleagues, yeah. So it's still on his account. Maybe we will need to move it maybe to the company account so we can support it for some time. So you just get the add-on. You get the same. You go to New Relic, get the APK. You need this ingest license type. And then basically you do the same as for Blackfire now. So you like add a config, like you can edit like variables for the project, like here, like the dev config environment. You can add this global word, like it will be available for every application, and or you can create this end file in the dev directory with like two things, the license key and app name. So basically, license key should be the same, probably. Yeah, you might create 10 accounts, you know, if you want to pass the limits with different emails, but like, yeah, but like app name probably should be different so you can see what you're working with. And then basically you do DDEV New Relic on, DDEV New Relic off, and it's the same basically. Enables, disables the thing, and there is like, yeah, there is an error. I will fix it. This actually those slides, as usually, I've added today because I've checked everything again, and like, yeah, that's the last slide actually. So yeah, so thank again for DDEV team to doing this. If you interested in this, using like this like New Relic thing, and you have use cases for that, just yeah, check the add-on maybe, and would be great to maybe see some feedback issues if it doesn't work. Maybe like it works on RM Mac, but doesn't work on the Intel Macs or Linux, something like that. I hope so. Like usually, like we work in company on like Drupal development, so like Mac only. So never tested it on Linux or Windows. Actually, I think like there was a presentation how to run DDEV on Windows today, or will be tomorrow, right? So yeah, anyone who is interested, yeah, would be great to get some feedback from you. And yeah, let's move it to the totally workable solution line, so like everyone just can use it as an add-on without like all that hassle with custom Docker files and customization to your DDEV directory. Yeah, yeah. So 5 minutes for any questions. Yeah.
I have a question about performance.
So a question about performance. So if you enable New Relic on the production or staging website, how it affects the server load and page load time?
So they like if you enable it in this, like if you enable the profiling is heavy, of course, a bit, but like when it also New Relic is monitoring tool, and actually their business model, so you run it in production, and I think like it's super lightweight. And for example, Acquia has or had, I don't know, you can have like New Relic subscription from their UI, and you can run it in production, and then show you a lot of things like metrics, like average page speed. For example, you can have notification when like your average page load speed is like increases, or also it can monitor your PHP like errors, you know, in your PHP code, like fatal, etc., and send like logs. So it's actually huge suite for a lot of things. And but in my opinion, like things like New Relic and Blackfire, they kind of like enterprise a bit. Like some smaller projects will not leverage that much, and they are like costly to run at some point.
Yeah, because I did kind of the same using opportunity integration, that you can run locally the opportunity collector, Grafana, and get the same features, almost the same features like New Relic, but locally using free tools.
The way, like, if you need to this only for like development to just like find those performance bottlenecks, you will get the same with their like polished UI and everything like for free. But, yeah, but like if you need to do this like for a long time and don't want to pay them, yeah, of course, like this your solution also is a nice solution.
Okay, thanks.
I remember when I used XDebug profiler, it produced some output file, and there I can dive into the stack trace, and even if the same method is called multiple times in different places in the trace, I can really identify these different places where it happens. And I remember XHProf, the output was not as fine-grained that I could distinguish this stuff. And I don't know if this New Relic also produces some file that I can use with some external tool to explore, or you can use only through the UI, and then how deep does it go?
So it goes deep by default, so it has better like clicking. You can click through like to see like all the same metrics, like time execution time per method, number of calls, memory usage, blah blah blah. I don't know if you can export their data to different tool. Probably yes, but I'm not sure. So basically, New Relic now, I think like there is a blog post from 2023 that like some private equity actually acquired them. At a valuation of like 7 billion or something like that, like 2 years ago. So I think like they have a lot of features. But like I guess for New Relic you can like to cover a lot of features. I can do like 90 minutes presentation, and it's a very large product.
So what was the performance problem for your commerce upgrade? Like, what did you find, and how did you find it?
I don't know, because actual profiling was done with like different guys. So yeah.
Just replace it with WordPress.
I think like WordPress on such big project will be much heavier. So like WooCommerce is like WordPress in general. Like maybe it's changed, but WordPress like for small project is fine, but like when you add a lot of things, it's like super heavy.
Yeah.
It becomes super heavy. That's why they have this like total cache A, like a lot of those caching things, which are all external. And Drupal, you have everything internal. And like Drupal dynamic cache, I guess, is like a really good tool. Yeah.
One question.
Okay. Thank you for attending. Yeah.